This is the Sim Pit. I'm your host, Shaun Cole, and we are here for the February edition of Hotlap Humpday, sponsored by Ricmotech. We have our new rules. You know the rules. Well, if you're here last month, you know the new rules. It is back to perfection. It is all about who is the fastest in perfection. One lap, fastest lap takes the prize for the day. But we have, listen to you, we've made our own changes and adjustments off of last month's change in our style. And so this month, we will have our hot lap competition. We're going to have 60 minutes of practice, followed by 30 minutes of actual qualifying time to declare the winner. And then we're going to have a 15-minute fun race where everyone who's here is able to participate in it. Everyone is here, no restrictions. Come on out, set a time, be involved in the final race. So I am here with a few people. We have Robby Unser right there next to me. How you doing, Robby?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. And then on the mic today, instead of Kevin Ford, who is away on doing family business, we have none other than Avery McDonald. Avery, how are you?
Oh, I am fantastic, Shaun. Happy to be here. Just excited to see some drivers make some good hot laps in and have a good little fun race at the end.
I super appreciate you being here, because with Kevin not being here, it would be so boring without somebody calling it. So I really appreciate you being here and taking some of the load off of us from having to be entertaining. Not to put too much pressure on you to be entertaining, by the way.
Oh, I am so nervous. I mean, I'm starting to shake. I got goosebumps and everything. I'm on YouTube. I mean, geez, like, no, this should be fun. I'm excited. I've been starting to call some races as the last couple of years. It's good to get out of a real production trailer and sit in front of a mic. So I'm excited just to, experience this whole little fun event.
It should be fun. And I believe we still have Frank Rico with us. Frank, are you here?
I am here, yes.
Frank, how are you here? I'm going to play Frank. Here's the headquarters. This is where Frank is probably hanging out right now. He's probably home by now. But that's Ricmotech headquarters. Frank Rico, thank you for joining us this month. And yeah, we missed you last month. We have our new format, all about perfection. That's something you know about looking at all the equipment here at Ricmotech headquarters.
Yeah, and this video's old. It's a couple years old now, so we got to make a fresh one.
Yeah, it's still some pretty cool looking gear, though. All right, I see Leonardo Dragata got out here, which means at least one person was hip to the stream and aware of the password. So if you go to the hosted section on iRacing, this event is open to anybody watching. Our password for the day is Super Trofeo, like, a Lamborghini, Super Trofeo. So you go to the hosted section. We are racing at Watkins Glen. Can't get that out of my mouth. And we're in the Lamborghini Huracan GT3s. So if you have the car, you have the track, and now you have the password, you can get out here and join us. And like I said, you have 60 minutes to practice, get ready to have 30 minutes for the perfect qualifying time. So use that hour basically to work on your setup and your driving line. So I am ready to kind of shut my mouth and get out on track.
Yeah, it's such a fun track. You come here with the Lamborghini, Shaun, especially when you come to Watkins Glen, you think of GT3 racing. And when I come here, I was driving this track for probably about an hour or so before I got in my rig, used my Ricmotech triple monitor stand, and took a look at how fast I could go. I was pretty slow, but I'm really looking forward to see what's some of the drivers there, especially Leo, who's had a good season so far. For the XMS guys. It's also brought to you by Ricmotech. So one of these things, Shaun, when you come to a track here, it's Watkins Glen. It's not very it's kind of basic, which is kind of fun. That's what makes some really good racing. I've had some of the best races here at the Glens. So if I was going to be in the car, I would take most of this time to learn the car, learn the track, and maybe make some minor tweaks so when we get down into qualifying and you can try to get a good hot lap in. So that's what I would personally do. But a lot of these drivers that are going to be signing in have way more experience with this hot lap challenge.
Yeah, that's the key, though, like that setup. I mean, at the very least, even if you're not a setup magician, it is about a perfect lap. And our race is only 15 minutes. So I'm looking at my fuel tank here as I roll off pit lane. And I'm carrying my audio is so loud. Hold on, I got to change. That's not going to work at all. I can't hear myself think over my iRacing sound. I'm carrying 27 gallons of gas, though. That's probably a bit more.
Yeah, that'll set the car down a little bit more than what you'll probably be doing in qualifying. So yeah, the new format, you got the 60 minutes of that warm-up session with 30 minutes to get that hot lap in. And if you get the fastest time in the 30-minute qualifying session, would be the winner of the hot lap challenge. So, and then after that, it's that 15-minute fun race. It's just a good way to get yourself involved with the sim pit community and come in and just get out and race and have a good time. So that's a really cool thing, allowing a bunch of drivers to come in and just have a good time. So if you get in there, get in that good practice, and then when it gets to qualifying, just try to get good hot lap in.
Joe, no, it's not the way it was last year, because last year we were letting the race determine the winner. So, yeah, no, there are a few things that are a little different. So last year it was a hot lap to declare the grid, and the grid was always over-under, so Kevin would declare an amount. And then we would have a first race, and then only a certain amount would advance. And then the winner of the second race was the winner take all. So now, as far as the format goes, no, it is the whoever wins qualifying essentially is the winner of the event, and the 15-minute race afterward is now open to everybody, but it is purely for fun or bragging rights. All right, I know I don't have everything mapped here.
Holy shit! So no food in this, huh?
Yeah, run that classic boot. So we're not run the little bus stop there. So I watching this drivers go through. I was driving a couple weeks ago with the Corvettes in that prototype challenge, and I tell you, when you switch over to this GT3 car, it's so much easier to drive. So you're just carrying so much speed on that big straightaway because missing the bus stop there. So when I was practicing here, I started the brake. I was like, oh yeah, we're not doing the bus stop. So I just needed to get a good idea of how the car was going to handle. I made a couple tweaks to the setup, but we were still slow. But yeah, Leo.
I can't really read my chat very well. Where it is.
Where the free chicken nuggets are, some use applications for certain restaurants. They probably have a free chicken nugget there. But I tell you, the guy I'm really looking for is Leo, who's sitting in front of Robby there. Got a lot of it's always tough when you got somebody in your mirror. Sometimes you're mirror driving, sometimes you're looking through the window. So I've been helping a lot of drivers recently with a little bit of the time I've had open, where I'm not really the best driving coach, but I'm more of their, hey, you're doing good. Just don't worry about the guy in front of you. Just try to pull away. But I think the last time I was watching the Hot Lap Challenge, I seen a couple of guys have a little damage. If I was a spotter, I would be telling them, don't worry about it. Car's clean. You'll be fine. Just keep driving. And if you get the meatball, that's when you got to pull off.
All right, we got to try to adjust this sound again. I still can't hear. Everybody out there watching, my audio is different than yours. I think we have everything. I think looks good upstairs or my stream. I don't understand why this audio is coming in so loud. Oh, Kevin Ford sending me a message.
Yeah, he already sent me 2 texts, and I was like, "Yep." I kind of had a kind of a fake bet in my head. What was the over under? How many minutes it was going to take till Kevin texted me and said something? And it was 5 minutes after we went live. So he just said, "Thanks again, bud," like he always does. And we do miss him here. I know a lot of you viewers, especially when I'm watching, like hearing his soothing voice. So he'll be back. I'm just thankful to be his first call for tonight.
He sent me a message now telling me that you're here filling in.
Good to know. Good to know. I'm glad I found out before, because otherwise I would have been late. And I kind of have that.
You go to the right, Leo.
When I work in my my broadcasting work in the production trailers, I'm the guy that's there half hour early. You know, if I'm there 15 minutes early, I'm late. So but
yeah.
So yeah, Leo putting on some good time. He's sitting second behind Robby there, and I think Leo is just getting those tires warmed up. And when the young man gets out in that clean area, he's going to really show some pace. He's kind of overshot a little bit there.
You
But
need
that's
to
okay.
wait for that one a little longer.
But he's got Robby there giving him a little bit of advice on going through the track, and that's always good to have someone that's has a lot of driving experience, whether it's in the sim or in the real car, that can help mentor these younger drivers that have some big goals. And always good to have people on your side. That was Kevin for me back in 10, 11 years ago. We were driving the old Mustang, and always giving me some advice. I like to say his advice helped me, but I'm still slow, but we're having fun. So that's kind of the big thing here for the
Nice.
Hotlap Challenge is to come and have fun. So good turn there by Leo, and he's that nice lap there, fastest so far in the practice session. Remember, practice session is just to get those times quick and get your car prepped. So when you get to that Hotlap Challenge for that 30 minutes, your car is ready to go, and you're going to try to win the Hotlap Challenge, because the fastest in the 30 minutes will take home the win. So good job for Leo to get out there and get as much practice time as you can. So.
And also, heads up to anybody who is watching, we do have 60 minutes of practice,
Oh!
so the official clock won't happen until we're in our qualifying session. All right, I went to a low downforce with light fuel, and it looped going up. I was on cold tires, but still, it shouldn't go around that easy.
Yeah, the cold tires are tough. I always like to run the high downforce, Shaun, not because I'm trying to get the most speed, but I want to be the most comfortable. So I've been I did run the low downforce earlier, and it happened to me as well, where I spun. So I don't feel too bad. It does happen to everybody too. So
I'm trying medium now, see if I can handle it, being that I got to compete with Leo.
yeah, because Leo's probably just running
Started on
that
medium.
super fast car. I mean,
Yeah, but when I get to the carousel, I'll know if this is
Right.
going to work or not.
yeah, once you get to that carousel, you just got to be, you're super gentle around there. And if the car starts to over rotate and spin out, you're it's time to go and get back to the pits and get a fresh set of tires and get back going. But yeah, Leo doing a good job. Let's see if he gets a little faster here. He did have a purple sector 5, so purple sector 5 is would be the best sector of the session. So a good lap for him. So remember, come in, get that password it's on your screen, join the room, utilize this practice session that we have to get ready for that 30-minute Hotlap Challenge. You get the fastest lap and be the winner of the Hotlap Challenge. So remember, if you got the Lambo, if you got Watkins Glen, and you got some time to spend on the track, it's a great group of drivers, a really good community that the Simpit's been able to put together. And big thanks to Ricmotech for being the sponsor for this. You can check them out at ricmotech.com. Great products. I've personally had products from Ricmotech before. A lot of these sponsorships going on. So really good product that Frank and the boys put together. Yes, Bryan, who let me in? That'd be your good buddy Kevin let me in. So I do appreciate that. And there's Shaun and Robby out on the track. Try to get some times in, and Leo just got dropped the second. Andres takes over the top spot in the practice session with that 1:42.7. These times are just going to start dropping. I mean, this is they're going to get used to the car, and it all depends a lot on what their fuel load is. If they're running a full tank or they're running some hot lap fuel load with the low amount. So that's always the toughest part there, is going through the S's. I see Robby got pretty close to the wall there, so he gotta be very cautious with that. And that's if you hit it wrong, you just know you screwed up. And I do that all the time. First lap I did this after my flying lap, I just put it right in the tire, put right into the wall, and just got to be cautious there. So just a lot of good drivers here so far putting times down, Shaun.
Yeah, it's going to be Watkins Glen. Everyone knows the Glen. So this is like one of those tracks that's going to be a interesting challenge because just about everybody's going to be able to get up to speed pretty quick. But then it's going to come down to thousandths of a second likely. Wow, if we can hit the setup. I'm not getting enough grip out of the front end of this car.
That was one thing I struggled with a little earlier practicing. And I've been driving the Lambo a little bit more in the last couple of weeks just to try something different. And that was one thing I kind of struggled with a little bit. And then I just started making little tweaks the way I was driving the car and helped out. But when I was practicing, I was running around the 145s. So I'd be last on the board, and I'm okay with that. That doesn't hurt me. So, but so far, Shaun, you got up to third, so you're sitting in a nice 144. I mean, a lot of time left to pick up some speed. We see some more drivers getting out on the track. Kenny Steps coming out, so we'll see what he'll be able to do in just a few moments' time.
Robby just beat me.
Yeah, Robby just beat you. Doesn't that make you feel good when you feel like you get a good time, and then someone says, "Nope, I'm gonna go right." Let me put your name down down just a little slot. So good time for Robby's coming into the pits, and
before I even finish smiling about it.
Yeah, that happened one time with me with Kevin. I got past him, and I beat him in a race back in the Mustang. For anybody who knows Kevin back in like the 2014 days, 2013 in the Mustang, he was pretty much unbeatable, and I beat him one time, but he wrecked out. But I still beat him. So. Good lap so far there for Robby. Leo's still out there. He's put in some good sectors. I think the big thing, I look at my timing app that I use, Leo was about 0.3 slower in sector 1 over Andreas. So I mean, so he's got a little bit of pace to find, but the good thing is he got in here early, Shaun, and he's going to have he's got a lot of time to get some more pace out of that car. So he's trying to get that Lambo moving and grooving and get that thing to rotate and motivate down the track. So,
both of those guys are consistently at the top of our board, so they're going to be fighting it out.
Right. Speaking of, and part of the top of the board, Shaun, you're up to second place.
Yeah. Hey,
so
look at
I mean, and here comes Robby back on the track. He says, "I'm not going to let that happen for again." So maybe see if he'll take over Shaun's spot. So, Shaun, you got a big smile on your face. Hopefully we can have that last for a little while.
I can hold this one a little longer so far.
But yeah, sitting at a good spot. You got some time. Your sector 1 was right on par with Leo there, and sector 2 where you really had him was about 0.3 quicker in the third sector. So I mean, you maybe don't have Leo behind you because he might try to take that third sector for you. Here's Kenny Step. He's out there, hasn't quite got a time in, so good first sector. About a half second slower than Leo the last time around. So I mean, always good to get out there on the track. Remember, if still watching, we got the passer on your screen, Super Trofeo, the Lambo at the Glen. We still got plenty of time to get in here and get some good laps in and practice so you can get prepared for that hot lap challenge. Remember, the fastest driver in that 30-minute qualifying session will be the winner of the hot lap challenge. So this is a good time to get moving and grooving. So, but Shaun, you're still in second, but Leo is on pace for a really good lap right now. So we'll see if what he'll be able to do.
Keep work. I'm not, this car takes a little while to find the balance with it being a mid-engine. I got to find that mid-corner speed. Put this beast to use.
Yeah, we ran the Porsche in the 24, and that was something we struggled with, just getting used to the car. And when I made that change to run the Lambo for the last couple weeks, I started to really like it once I figured the car out. So really well done. It's a fun. Any GT3 car is fun to drive, but especially the Lambo here at the Glen, such an iconic racetrack. Bring it back to the roots, with the classic boot track layout. So putting on some good times, and yeah, Leo just took you down, Shaun, down to third. Leo,
just like that.
Oh, and the big thing I look on the timing is he had the fastest sector 5 out of anybody in the session so far. So good job by him.
What's up, Max? What do you want, buddy?
Aldous doing a good job. Had a really good sector 2, the fastest by about a tenth of a second. So I always try to look at the sector times when I'm doing something like this to see where some drivers are good at and some are struggling. So like when it's me, it's all red for being slow, but it shows where different drivers are better at different portions of the track, or maybe their car handles better on the boot section or on the on sector 1 and 2.
Yes, Twiggy, absolutely it is. So this session is open to everybody. I'll kind of give my beginning promo real quick. This is Hotlap Humpday. We do this on the 3rd Wednesday of every month. So Ricmotech sponsors this event every single month. 3rd Wednesday of every month, 3 o'clock Pacific time in the U.S. is when we start. It is open to anyone and everyone. So if you go to the hosted section on iRacing, look for Watkins Glen, look for a room hosted by Frank Rico. Either of those will do. And the password you can see up above us at Super Trofeo, like the Lamborghini, Super Trofeo. And all you have to do is come in. We have about 36 minutes left in practice. That will be followed by an official 30-minute qualifying. And that will determine the actual winner of Hotlap Humpday this February edition. And then when we're all done with that, we will have a quick 15-minute sprint race open to all drivers just for the fun of it and final bragging rights. So again, password is Super Trofeo. Go to the hosted section. Look for Watkins Glen, hosted by Frank Rico. Put in that password. Come on out and see what you can do.
Absolutely. What a great way to get involved in the community, Shaun, just to get in race with other people that are just trying to have a good time. I see a driver out there currently 9th on the board, Ryan Reisman. He's a big GTP driver, so it's a little bit different than what he's used to. And he did give me a shout out for saying who let me in. So I was thankful they left the door open for me to jump in. I still have the TeamSpeak server down, so so I was really thankful for that. So we'll see what he gets. Here's Lonnie Jameson working around with Shaun there, and Lonnie hasn't put a time in, so he's out there on his first lap and has a really good sectors. The one thing I want to point out when we get to that the hot lap challenge for 30 minutes, remember if they go off track, Shaun, or get an incident, that eliminates the time, because in iRacing that doesn't count. So you got to be perfect. You got to use up as much of the track limits as possible without going off track.
Yeah, that's why we switched to qualifying for the scrutiny, because it's got to be a perfect lap in every respect. Which I'm pretty sure my best lap so far was, because there are a couple of spots you can actually not cut but go wide and gain time at the Glen. And there are a couple spots you can legally go off and gain time, like 3 corners before the end. 4 corners before the end.
Yeah, remember password is Super Trofeo. Go into the iRacing UI, look for the hosted sessions. I usually try to do it by track, especially here at the Glen. It's it'll be right on the top when we go in reverse order. So come in. We still got plenty of time to get prepped up for that 30-minute hot lap challenge. So it's a good time to see how your car is going to handle in the on the track. So.
John Hill, you're right. So we changed something in the SimPit Discord where new videos get posted in that section, not on the main channel. But for an event like this, that doesn't work very well. So you know what? I thank you for mentioning that. I'm gonna go ahead and post it on our Discord for everybody. But the Password is Super Trofeo, as Avery mentioned. All right, I'm going to get this posted in our Discord just so people.
Joshua Higgy up to second, took over a Leo there with a really good time. A really good run by him. Had really good sectors on the track, and Leo is just he just came out of the pits. Looks like with that 4-minute sector 1.
Okay, we got that posted in our channel now. Trofeo, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't do good in English class, so let me check over. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, I was really good when it came down to car manufacturers and track corners, but when it came down to, the basics with little Avery, I struggled a little bit, but we're doing pretty good now. So, another couple drivers jumping in. I see a Michael Cochran. He's coming in. He's he runs a Porsche quite a bit, so we'll see how he gets going with the Lambo. So we still got a really good field. It's pretty competitive. I mean, we only got about 1/10 of a second so far between Aldous and Andrus. So Aldous just took over the fastest so far in the practice session. I'm really looking to see these times start to drop, Shaun, as they start to make little adjustments to the car and see where they're going to be able to try to trim the car out enough to where they have enough downforce, but still able to run a good time. So we have 11 drivers so far that put time out there, but we got a couple drivers, Nick there and Michael Cochran, trying to get a good lap in. So plenty of time to get your car set up the way you want and see what you're going to get. So remember, we still got plenty of time to jump into the session. The Lambo, Watkins Glen, Super Trofeo. Password is out there for you. So just remember, jump in and come out and try to get some good laps in. And I always try to practice when I'm trying to get ready for like a hot lap challenge. It's all about just trying to keep the car, on the track. I know in practice the time will count if you go off track, but it's always a good mindset to stay in the track limits. And that's in anything, whether you're qualifying or racing. You want to limit your incidents. So we'll see what happens here. So Shaun, you're all the way down to 5th, but I think you still have still got some time to get back going up to the podium in practice.
Yeah, I had to take care of some house cleaning, but now we're up and running again. I think when I was complaining about nose grip. I don't know if there's going to be any front end grip that's going to magically cure it. I think it's just getting the braking down and getting it woed up enough to get down to apex. So I think we'll be able to shed a little time off those laps if we can just get the car to apex.
Yeah, that was one of the things I've noticed, Shaun, getting back out on the track. I just makes you realize how important that apex is. As we're looking at Michael Cochran here running. I think it's his first time out here in the Hot Lap Challenge. I believe so. He's a good friend of mine. So we'll see where he ends up on the track. Got some decent sectors there, but we'll see what lap he gets in as he just cruising around the racetrack. Put it in cruise control. The virtual fake, that's not even a thing. Cruise control, it's like a Sunday cruise out in practice. That's where I've noticed. I get my fastest times where I'm not really pushing limits. I'm just out cruising. So
right.
I've noticed with these GT3s, the more you push the car, the more it just, like you were saying earlier, that front end just doesn't have grip, and you just got to drive them each a little bit different there. So all this still fastest in the session, but only by 0.2 of a second. So there's a Nick up to 3rd. So just a moving and a grooving, or is like my favorite one of my favorite terms to use as of late, Shaun, is that rotate, motivate line. So I have I'm sure they're watching. I got a good group of my indie camping buddies that they always count how many times I say it during the show. So I'll try to limit it. Otherwise, yep. I already got one text saying, "Oh, you already used your line." So, but
Hey, it's your line. You
that's
gotta
my
use
line,
it.
right? But Michael got his time up to 12th. Awesome. Nick, fastest that is Twiggy. So thanks for putting that in the comments. Up to first place. Nice lap there. That purple sector 5 was really where he gained a lot of speed. He's about 2/10 quicker than Aldous. So thanks for jumping in. Like Twiggy did. He watched us on the stream and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna come drive." And still got some time to get back going. Get into the track and get some good practice in for that 30-minute hot lap challenge, so you could try to be the winner of tonight's challenge. So once again, big thanks to Ricmotech for sponsoring tonight. They're Ricmotech.com. Great, like I said earlier, great place to get product, whether you're looking for a wheel, a cockpit, or heck, I bought one of the coolest things I got, Shaun, for my rig is I got this short throw shifting adapter for my shifter.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I tell you what, I didn't think it was going to make a difference, but my good buddy Kevin was like, "I think you need to get one." And after convincing me for a little while, I bought one. And I tell you what, that makes a huge difference. And I'm a big fan of that. And well, now that the next gen Cup cars go sequential shift, I don't use it as much, but when I do, it makes me feel like I'm faster.
Right. That's the one that's actually on their promo that we played.
Mm-hmm.
Shifter mod. Hey Nick, okay. Twiggy is Nick. Gotcha. Twiggy, aka Nick. All right, let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the results real quick for my own. Ooh, look at Nick went in P1. Look at that.
Yeah, I had a really good sector 5, and that's one of the big things, Shaun. I mean, you got to find a little bit spot to be faster than everybody else. It's not always about being the fastest in every sector. It's about being close and then being faster in one of them. Because if you can, make that adjustment to your car like he did in sector 5, his last lap, put him on top of the board in practice. But Aldous is coming back out on the track and's like, I kind of want to get back on the top. You don't win a prize for being fastest in practice, but it sure makes you feel good as you go into the hot lap challenge,
Yeah,
as you can try to win that prize. So we'll see if Aldous can knock him off. So there's Robby there sitting on
right behind me.
Right behind there in 7th. So doing it good. How's the car feeling, Robby?
It's like a Lamborghini.
Whoa.
Pig in a dress.
Yep.
No, it's good.
It's good.
I noticed there's a lot in getting with the right guy.
Right.
I
haven't even tried to draft yet. Yeah. That what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that way of perfecting the perfect line for our competition.
Yeah, it's you always like to be the car when it comes to trying to get a good hot lap, or you're in the slipstream or the tow or the draft, however anybody wants to mix it. But it's always good to have somebody to draft off of, especially when you're here at the Glen. It always helps out. And it's nice when you have a guy in front of you like Nick that you have, and who's super fast is on the board, help slipstream you right back up. So 14 drivers so far put times in, plenty of time to get into the session. Remember Lambeau the Glen in the iRacing UI hosted session, and get in here, get some practice in, so you can try to be the winner of tonight's hot lap challenge.
24 minutes left in practice till we switch to the 30-minute qualifying session.
Yep, 24 minutes left in that practice. So we're getting there. We're getting down to the wow, what a lap by Nick, 141.97. The first driver in the 141s, purple sector 3, purple sector 4, and he had a personal best sector in sector number 2. So what a heck of a time he is there. But like I was saying earlier, Aldous is back on the track, and he just had a personal best sector #1. So we'll see what he's going to be able to run there. So still a little bit of time left to get in the session, get that practice in, and then get prepped for that 30-minute hot lap challenge. The end goal tonight, Shaun, is you want to win that hot lap challenge. But when it's over, don't switch the channel. We got a nice 15-minute fun lap race for some good bragging rights. I think if you could say you win the fun race after you win the hot lap challenge, I think that's some pretty good bragging rights, Shaun. But just a good opportunity to go out and race around a good group of people. So everybody is eligible for the fun race at the end. So if you're watching and or you're in the race car and trying to in the race car, you want to just don't leave after the hot lap challenge. We want you to stick around for the fun race and have a good time. So thanks again, everybody, for joining. There's Nick back out on the track, and great lap by Aldous, 142.11. So just a touch over 1/10 of a second off the 141, and he's been put on a good run. So we'll see what he's going to be able to maybe do the next time around.
Oh, there's a lot you can use there.
Whoa!
You all right there, Shaun?
Whoa! Yeah, I guess I got it to loosen up a little bit. It's not front end grip, it's lack of rear end grip. Makes it look like the grip in the front's working, but
I just seen your screen. You were just working the car, and that was pretty good. Always got to make sure you check on your friends when they're
when they look drunk.
Yeah, when they wreck the car, be like, "Hey, are you all right? You want me to get you water or some Pedialyte or something to get you back going?" So, the nice thing about practice, though, and when it gets to hot lap challenge, you reset the car and you got a brand new car. So
just like that.
Yeah, I mean that's the technology that our virtual crew can get that car fixed up and going in 10 seconds. So you gonna make any changes, or are you gonna try to run what you got there?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going back. I had tried to drop the nose a little bit, see if I could get more grip out of the front, but I don't think it was actually getting the grip. I think it was just making the rear end loose.
Yeah.
So I just went back to what I had.
Speaking of quick times, Andres just put up 142.1. So all this behind him is at 142.11. So very tight. It's within 0.2 of a second for the top three, and I think Leo's going to have some pace soon. He's starting to pick up his sectors. So let's take a look. So Ryan Reisman out here, John Hill out here. Good to see Kurt Workman, Kenneth Jensen, Kenny Stepp, and then a couple other drivers out there just putting in some good time. So really thank everybody for jumping in and making this hot lap challenge what it is, because if it wasn't for the fans, there would be no hot lap challenge. So we really appreciate everybody for tuning in, watching, and anyone that's participating in this. What a fantastic event. Remember, it's the third Wednesday of every month. So, and I think the great thing about this, Shaun, is you don't know what track it is. You don't know what car it is.
That is my favorite thing.
So when you tune into the sim pit at around that 5 Eastern time, and then when you find out what it is, that's when you got 60 minutes to get ready for the hot lap challenge.
When I think about that you don't know. We've been doing this for years and years and years, right? So people who run it, it's like, it's coming because it's the third Wednesday, right? But until you get notification of what's actually going on, like when you see it, in some cases it puts a big smile on your face. It's like, oh, that's my car, or oh my God, that's my track, right? And then there are other times where it's just like, oh no, it's like a kick in the what. It's like, oh, if there was a track that I am the worst at, it's that one. Oh no, right? But
Right.
I think that's what makes it, because, you know, with that same thing going on for everyone, it means that every time we do it, you know, fast guys are always fast, right? But every time we do this, it gives somebody else another chance to really look good. You know, if you've ever worked at a real racetrack, Robby will testify to this. You get track ringers, guys who are like, maybe they're a instructor at a particular track. So when some series comes in, a lot of times those drivers get hired up because they're like literally like the masters of Searsburg,
A certain
or
place,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, and so all of a sudden they get there one day in the sun to go run, and they're going to run competitive with the guys who are fast everywhere they go. You know.
Yeah, it's like when I was running when I was younger. I used to race 4-wheelers on like dirt flat track and stuff. Like I was really good on the tracks that were dry and slick because I was just a tiny little guy. And when I got to the tracks where were nice and sticky, the other guys kind of other riders kind of were a little bit faster. But that's what's cool, like you said. When you're coming out here, you don't know what car and track combo it's going to be. It might be something to your liking, or it might be something you kind of struggle with. But at the end of the hour of practice, everybody's getting better, and that's what kind of makes it fun. So you get that, hour of driving something you may struggle at. Like, last month was the IndyCar, and you come into the Lamborghini, two totally different cars. But after that session, you just get a little bit quicker and quicker, and get a little more comfortable with the car. And heck, you never know, Shaun, you might just start running this car after this. Like people might go race this car next week or follow this schedule because, hey, they never had a chance to maybe try it. And this is a good chance to give it a go. So it's a good way to practice, get something new.
Like for me, I run the GT3s fairly often, and Lamborghini is not usually my go-to, right? And so, yeah, this could be the kind of thing that influences even a car change as you're like, in a group car like that. Now, I'm not saying the Lamborghini has won me over yet, by the way.
But there's always a chance. That's what I always say when you get to a race. Like there's 30 people. Say if there's 30 people entered for a race, you may not be the fastest one or the slowest, but there's always a chance.
Always a chance.
And if there's always a chance. That's what's what I like about how they have. If you do some official racing, they have it split. So you're racing against drivers that are around your rating. They may be a little bit faster or slower, but it gives a little bit better of a chance. So, but 15 drivers put laps in. We're pretty competitive. You see throughout the board a lot of different rated drivers. But what's cool is you can kind of, if you're somebody like me who's running like that 146 and 147s, you get a chance to see what those faster drivers are doing and see if you can make some changes, because you always learn from running around faster people.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. System default is working, really? Okay. I'm not sure I'm going to hear chat.
Fucker.
Just a heads up, everybody. We are about 15 minutes left in practice. We will switch to qualifying. That will be strict qualifying scrutiny, so no off tracks. And whoever is the fastest at the end of qualifying is the official winner of this month's Hotlap Humpday. Immediately finish following that 30-minute session where we declared the winner, we are going to have a 15-minute fun race. Everyone is eligible. There will be no disqualifiers or anything. If you're here, you're eligible to run in that race. So good luck, everybody.
Yeah, great point. Yeah, that's what's good. It's going to be really fun about tonight's little fun race after that hot lap challenge, because everybody's going to be white knuckling it, trying to get those fastest laps, or if you're like Nick up on the top, he's just probably on a Sunday cruise running that 141.9. But you get done after your hot lap and it's time to regroup because that fun 15-minute race always can put on a good show, because anytime you get out to race on a track, but when you come to an iconic track like the Glen, that just makes a huge difference to me. It's such a fun track. And like you were saying before we went on the air, everybody knows this track pretty much. It's one of the most popular tracks on the service.
Yeah.
For not just for drivers in North America, but throughout the whole world. So, it's a popular track, and I'm glad to see this combo, because when Kevin gave me the call, I'm like, I always know it's gonna be a good combo, but I'm like, man, something with a sports car would be cool. But I'm a huge IndyCar fan from a driving perspective. such a fun car to drive. I mean,
Yeah.
I was when I seen where you guys were going last month. I wasn't home, so the next day I went and tried it, and I'm like, man, I actually probably should have jumped in. I might have done okay. But so yeah, it's love having that difference between go from a super fast open wheel car to a GT3 car. So
right.
Hey, Necromancer, good to see you here. Good to see John in the chat. He was actually just at the Daytona 500. Sent me some good pictures. So good to see him in the chat.
In the Raintona 500.
Oh yeah, well, so I go to the Rolex 24 every year. I've been there the last 9 years, and the last 2 years it was super hot. But the year before, it was by far the coldest race I've ever been to. I think it was almost above freezing. So, yeah, it was good to have the last couple of years. I was wearing my fire suit, a replica of one of the drivers. I had a couple people ask me if I was really driving. I'm like, no, I'm on the tram heading out of the track, and the guy's suit I'm wearing, he's actually in the car right now. But it was great. It was a good moment. But I was super nice. It was a younger kid, and I said, no, man, I'm a race car driver. I'm more of a sim racer. And I'm like, he's like, what's that? And I kind of explained him what it was. And at the end of it, his father said, thanks for being so cool. I'm like, well, I'm not. I'm like, that's just not how I am. I'm always gonna be cool. Like you never know when you can make an impression on somebody. So
so true.
I mean, I think that's the way out. You look at something like this Hot Lap Challenge. I mean, you maybe got a younger driver like a Leo in there and trying to, gain a little speed. Always looking for advice. From what Kevin's told me, he's like a sponge. Whenever there's knowledge to be seen, he's always grasping it in. So he's in the pits right now, 4th, but the top 3 has not changed in a little while. As Joshua there just took over Leo's time. Shaun's still sitting in 6th. You got Robby down in 8th, but still a really good a good session so far. We're getting close to the Hot Lap Challenge starting up. We got about just over 10 minutes away from when we start that 30-minute Hot Lap Challenge, where you can try to be the winner tonight. And how you can win that is you run the fastest lap in that 30-minute session. So, this is it's getting down to crunch time and practice to try to get those fastest times. We only got one driver so far in the 141s, but in about 10 minutes time, everybody's down to nothing. So I mean, everybody starts out fresh, where none of your times in practice counts. So that's when the pressure's on. So right now, these drivers are trying to get those cars set up, get that fuel load set to what they want to run. So.
Hey, Dope Boy Mike, thank you very much, buddy. Thank you. Welcome to the channel. Glad you found us.
Oh yeah, thanks for jumping in, man. They do this the Hot Lap Challenge here at the Sim Pit the 3rd Wednesday of every month, and like we were saying earlier, Shaun, it's so cool when people show up to this 5 Eastern time slot for this live stream. You don't know what you're racing. You don't know where we're racing, and that is what makes it cool as a viewer. So,
right.
I mean, that's what makes it kind of neat. It's not the same old song and dance every time. You got a new pair of boots on every week or something. So.
Well, I also like the thing about racing, real life and sim is they're strenuous events, right? Because you're really on the clock and all this. Well, what I like about Hotlap Humpday is, generally speaking, we give you enough time to do some laps, stretch your legs, do some more laps, analyze what you did, and have the time to make the adjustments and the time to stay fresh. So instead of like just where you just have to sit there hammering laps, or where in a typical league scenario where you're right into the race and you're going to be there till it's done or over, right? I like that this just gives you a little bit more time to be perfect,
right.
Like that.
Speaking of time to be perfect, we got a new driver on top of the board. Andres there is sitting in that top spot.
Oh,
beat Nick by 0.002.
Dang. Let's
So,
see. Anybody share any setups?
He's getting there. He's getting that time and just sitting in a good spot to get prepped up for that 30-minute hot lap challenge, just under 10 minutes away from that. So we got a little bit of time. I'd like to thank Ricmotech. That's ricmotech.com for supporting the Sim Pit and the Hot Lap Challenge. Man, check out if you need anything sim racing related. That's the site I always check out. And I always have really good products. I mean, whether you're looking for that, steering wheel, wheel rim, cockpit, seat, or you need a basic little cable for your rig. I had to get a replacement for my Thrustmaster shifter a while ago when I just moved states back in June, so I was going through all my stuff, Shaun, and I'm like, I don't have this, and I need a shift with the.
Yeah.
I don't need a shift. There's other ways to shift, but I'm trying to, run to as realistic as I kind of can, So, always help out in need. I had to replace a load cell controller on my pedal. Ricmotech had it, and
Yeah.
I mean, they got everything. I mean, it's such a great group. It's good to see from when the company started to see where they're at now, and so many cool products. I think there's a couple tracks I've been to. I'm like, yep, that's a Ricmotech setup.
Right. Yeah, you see them in public settings all the time. I feel your pain though with the shifter comment you made though. 'Cause it's like, well, but at the same time, we're just always trying to improve our fun factor.
Right. Yeah, that's so like when I'm looking at sim gear, Shaun, it's not necessarily I've never bought gear to try to get faster because that ain't gonna help me. I always try to get gear to make it just a little bit more realistic and just kind of if it looks cool, you know what I mean? Like, you take a look at the Sim Pit Discord and the Show Your Rig section. People take a lot of pride in what their rig looks like. Whether it's from when I started racing back in like 2006, 2005, with a steering wheel duct taped to a Rubbermaid end table, which I still have the end table, to what my rig has gone to now. So, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're racing on a desk or if you're racing a full out motion rig. You just see every driver just takes a little bit of pride in their setup, and that's what makes it cool. It gives everybody gets ideas. I was talking with a driver in our session, Ryan Reisman, earlier about how I'm moving actually in about a month to a new place. So he sent me his rig. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I got some ideas. So that's what the one thing I've noticed with the Sim Pit community and the Discord, you just get a good opportunity to show your rig. And if you're like me, I looked through it today. I'm like, okay, there's some cool ideas here, and I'll try to put that into my setup.
On our Friday show, I usually feature rigs from that exact section you're referring to on our Discord, and it's like my thinking is that it hopefully motivates people or gives them ideas on what they can do, and it might. I always say it's not something that you're going to necessarily copy one-to-one, but what they did might give you an idea on how you would do it different for you, right?
Right.
Oh.
And maybe something you wouldn't have even thought of had you not seen their idea.
Yeah, I was looking at it, earlier, and I seen so I got a Clint Boyer nose, and I'm like, I saw someone hanging it in front of the rig. I'm like, well, that's a good idea. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it up, and then when the fiance comes in, I'll be like, what do you think? And if she likes it, great. If not, we'll make a change. But I will have a dedicated sim room, so that would be really cool. But yeah, and I was just at Indy back in September for the 8-hour race. My buddy conned me and taking a tire, and I was like, well, the last tire I got was from an ARCA race, and I gave it away. So we'll see if we'll hang it up in the garage or something. But yeah, it was. That's another track road course I've been I like the new format there, but one of the tracks I like the most though is this here at the Glen. I love the classic layout. Just kind of gives you kind of an old school feel. But about 4 minutes left of this practice session, and then it's go time, Shaun. It's that 30-minute hot lap challenge where you have the opportunity. All these drivers here, and anybody watching, we can still time to join. Super Trofeo, the password on the screen, and that iRacing UI in the hosted session. come on in. I know practice is getting close to the end, but still time to get in and try to get that hot lap in. So
Yeah, I mean, if you know the car and you know the Glen, 30 minutes is plenty of time to get it done. I'm going to step away for 1 minute. I'll be back for qualifying.
But yeah, still some drivers out there. Robby, you're starting to, I see your sectors are getting a little bit quicker there. So, you got any? Are you going to try to? Anybody you want to have in front of you when it comes to that hot lap challenge?
Whoever's fast that I can keep up with. I don't get the setups too well. I just got to keep driving.
Right.
Sometimes I find something, sometimes I don't.
Right. That's what I've always said is I try to get someone I can keep up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a challenge. I could go out there with, anybody in that top 3 or the top 5, and I'll be sitting good for like a lap or two, and then, lap 3, they're already, 5 seconds ahead of me. So yeah. It's always good to get with the fastest driver that you can keep up with. So
yeah, I'm pretty used to getting my butt kicked out here. It's all right.
That's okay. We're having fun, That's one of the things I've learned. Whenever I feel like I need to get some little pick me up from being in the bottom of the timing tower, I go and run with the AI and set them pretty low and go from last to first. And I'm like, okay, I'm back to real life. But
right. I don't ever do that with the AIs.
I've tried it a couple of times. I've been doing some testing, helping out Kevin with the Extreme series on, that runs on Monday nights, also sponsored by Ricmotech. I help test out the AI because if they're slower than me, they're too slow for those drivers. So
right.
We get a good test for them. So just a couple minutes left in this practice session, and I mean, 0.002 seconds is the gap between Andrus and Nick there, and all this not too far behind them, and then Joshua and Leo rounding out that top 5. John, who'll be back in the car when it comes to qualifying. He's sitting in 6th place, and then Joe Antonio in 7th, Kurt Workman 8th, Robby Unser down to 9th, Kenneth Jensen 10th. We got John Hill, Ken Estep, Lonnie Jameson, and Ryan Reisman, and then Michael Cochran. The rest of the drivers here. So still time to get in here, whether you're a Lambo specialist or like me, I'm a slow specialist. Still time to get in, to come and have a good time, to try to win this hot lap challenge. It starts in just under a minute, so we're getting close to crunch time. And the weather's good. 65 degrees is the weather, and a little bit of humidity at 59%, mostly cloudy. That's always fun. It gives you a little bit more grip. Northwest wind at 8 miles an hour, so a little windy, but I've been at Daytona where it's a big old gust of wind. So this is good environment for fast times. So practice is almost over, and then that hot lap challenge will start. So a lot of these times if this was in the qualifying session, this would be a legal time because I see a lot of on my scoring software that they're all no time. A lot of them without incidents. So when we get that qualifying session, it's all about getting a clean lap, because if you get that off track and if you get it off track, it eliminates time. But now it is time for the hot lap challenge. 30 minutes for these drivers to get the fastest lap in the session, so they can be called the February SimPit Hot Lap Challenge, brought to you by Ricmotech. That's ricmotech.com. Check them out. So here we go. We'll see if these drivers are going to get back going and get a good time in. Nick there, he was the fastest driver in practice, just barely edged over, or Andrus was, I believe, the fastest. Let me go back and take a little look-see. Andrus was fastest in practice by 0.002, so he's got Nick right around him. So they're just they're gonna be moving in a groove in here. So good job by them to get times. And this is like Robby said, you want to get in the draft of the fastest driver you can keep up with. So keep an eye on I'll keep an eye on that. But Nick is got to get those tires warmed up. He's got to get those cars ready to get that car ready to go. 30 minutes to get moving. So we'll see what they're doing. So you're going to see a lot of drivers these first lap or two. They may not be the fastest, but they got to get those tires warm because Nick might be pulling off a little bit. But we've seen it earlier with Shaun. Earlier had a little incident where he had was on low down force and cold tires, and that was a recipe for spinning out. So it's going to take a couple laps to get them heated up, and they're going to make sure they got that proper fuel amount to. You don't want to load the car up too much, but so they're just they're sitting and we're just just patiently waiting because it takes a little bit of time to get that because you got to go around the track the whole time, and then your lap starts. So Michael Cochran is the first one to take the green flag. So we'll see what he's going to get. I believe it's his first time out here. Maybe we'll see him again in 1 month's time. But 13 or 11 of the 15 drivers so far out in the session. Just remember,
45 minutes or an hour.
Still time to get in here and get the room in. So we got 30 minutes of the Hot Lap Challenge. Who's going to be the driver that is going to be crowned the Hot Lap Challenge winner? I think you got some of the regulars could get it done, but I like how Mr. Antonio is here sitting in Michael's draft and get a good lap in there. It's always good to be in that slipstream. So when you come to the Glen, you got some long straights, so you really can draft all the way up a little bit. So
especially getting up that hill.
Oh yeah. Speaking of hills, I've been to Road America once. I thought that was a big hill in the sim. When you go to that track, I'm like, that's a lot of Averys from the bottom to the top. So, and like they say, these boots were made for walking, but that was something I was trying to avoid. So,
that's a Leonardo and the Oreo Lambo.
Yeah, I don't have any Oreos at the house, but I like that. I like that livery. Looks looks like a good snack to maybe pick up at the store after this. But so yeah, thanks everybody for watching or if you're in the session and have us on another screen and hearing an unfamiliar voice. Now, I'm not the normal Kevin Ford, but speaking of fast times though, Nick just put on one heck of a time, 1:41.97, and that's about what he ran in the practice session. That is Twiggy in the chat. So thanks again for hopping in. Remember, this is free to anybody. If you have the track, you got iRacing, and you got the Lambo. Super Trofeo is the password to get in. So that's what's so cool. Open to the public. It's a great community, and I think that's one thing, Shaun, that you've been trying to just keep. It's all about the community. I mean, we're all sim racing fans, and we're everybody's fans of the Sim Pit. We're also big fans of Ricmotech and the Hot Lap Challenge. So this is a great way to get involved in a community, whether if you're just a viewer or if you're out on the track. Because the biggest thing I've learned in my years of experience, I quit counting in sim racing. If you get yourself in a good community, that makes the world of difference.
Absolutely. And again, with the Sim Pit, we have our normal leagues, like mini leagues out there. But again, the thing about this event is it's so much more casual. You just don't have to, you can have a good event, you can have a bad event, but it's not going to ruin your season. It's such a more casual type environment, which is another thing I love about this. But yeah, we're always pushing our community events, whether they be leagues or something like this, or we've been doing a lot of fun races on Saturdays because we're in like our road season off season. So we've been just kind of playing with different sims on the weekend and just having a good time at the Sim Pit as usual.
Oh yeah, make sure if you're watching and if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So when something happens on the Sim Pit, it shows up in that subscription on your YouTube. So I know we'd really appreciate if you do the like, subscribe, and make a comment if you let us know you're out there watching. We could have it's always good to have people in the chat just comment away and maybe giving us a little bit of info or something that happened to them once here at the Hotlap Challenge or maybe at the Glen. So don't be afraid to reach out. I know a younger me probably would have been a little bit scared, but there's nothing wrong. There's nothing to be nervous about. The only thing I'd be nervous if I was on the track right now and I'd run the slowest time, I might feel a little embarrassed, but that's okay. If you're the fastest or the slowest, it's all about just coming out and having fun. So, because everybody's faster so far than I am in this session by far. It's a country mile. Like I was saying, while you were away, Shaun, I've been helping Kevin a little bit testing the AI, and the way I kind of did it, I told him, I says, if any AI is slower than me, you got to move it up. So if you got to move it up a little bit, maybe like 30 or 40%. So, but I know it's just it's a tool that he uses for some of the drivers to practice. I don't normally do much with the AI. I'm usually doing like an official race or hosted or a league or something, but it's a cool tool that they added.
But it gives you an idea where you stand or where you will. And speaking of subscribing to the channel, we do have a new video coming out tomorrow. Can't tell you what it is. It's a big surprise. No, it's not a big surprise, but you'll have to wait till tomorrow to find out what it is. But yeah, we try to get at least one video a week, usually on Thursdays. And so far in 2024, we've been a little ahead of schedule, getting more than just one video out a week, which has been real awesome for the Sim Pit.
Yeah, I always make sure I watch, and whether it's something that 99% of the stuff I'm interested in, maybe that 0.1%, I'd be like, doesn't matter if I'm interested or not, I'm still watching it, giving that view and a good like, because it makes a difference, and it helps you feel like you're a little bit more involved. So I mean, it's always great content, whether I'm watching videos from 5 years ago or today, it's still good content to watch. So you never know. You never know that if you did a video, Shaun, a couple of years ago about a wheel or a shifter that you might I might still be looking at. I'll go and watch it. It just helps out. Helps me out too. So.
Well, and every view really helps us out a bit. So whether it's an old video, new video, it's all about viewership and subscribers, and So yeah, I appreciate everybody out there who watches our content. It's our pleasure to be able to put it on. All right, I got to get a better lap in.
Yeah, speaking of a better lap, we got a new driver on top of the board. Andreas is back to the top, 141.941, just 0.03 seconds ahead of Nick there. So blistering lap, fastest sector 4 and 5 for that of the session. Nick's got the fastest sector 3, so maybe he'll get it down. We see Shaun, you're trying to use Robby's draft to get you to pull you up at the top of the board.
Trying. He's running too fast for me to catch him, though. I all of a sudden feel like my brakes are on. They're not, but you're just not driving that strong, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, am I dragging a brake or something? Why is this just not working?
Or you look at on your iRacing screen, like, I feel like I'm dragging my brake, but there ain't no red on the
exactly.
There's no red, or like I feel like I'm not going full throttle, but my green is pegged to the top. So.
Exactly. I got a bit of that going right now.
So yeah, so far you got Andres, Nick, and then Aldous is in third, in that 142.31, and then Leo down in fourth, just a little bit 10 slower than Joshua Higgy in that your fifth position. So still time. We're only a third of the way through, and Robby, you're going to take the trip back to the pit lane to get a fresh car after that.
So much for my draft.
Yeah, that's okay. Sometimes if I'm leading somebody, I'll just let them go and be like, hey, I'll take your draft. one of the things that I do, like you might see this in the 15-minute fun lap race. I may make it look like I'm going to pass you, but I ain't nowhere close to passing because you never know, they might let you by. So,
Right.
But so a lot of drivers on the out laps. The top three, Andres, Nick, and Aldous are so far on an out lap. Back in the pits is Leo and Mr. And Kurt Workman in the pits. So most drivers are about out on the track. So I think one of the impressive things I've seen, Shaun, is nobody's left the room. That's sometimes, if you're not one of the faster drivers, you might go, hey, this isn't for me. I'm just going to, exit the room and go have dinner. But everybody's stuck in the room. So it's cool. So, yeah, we still got time to join, though. I mean, come on in, get in there. You got 20 minutes left to get the fastest lap, so you can knock off Andres' time. We got two drivers in the 141 bracket. That's, Andres and Nick there, and Twiggy in the chat. He's sitting there in second place. So in a good spot. Michael Cochran was putting on a good little time here. He's currently 14th on the board. He is so not used to the Lambo. I'm really curious if he messages me after to see how it went, but it's good to see him there. But there's Antonio in the 31 Lambo looking good. That's one thing I've noticed, Shaun. A lot of these liveries are really sharp looking. It makes it easy for me to spot out who they are,
Yeah, some people are able to get to trading paints quick enough to get some cool ones. I'm in just a generic.
Yeah, nothing wrong with generic. A lot of my paints I do are actually off the iRacing template. You get all those templates you can choose.
Right.
And they look good enough for me. I'm not trying to. I ain't no Photoshop expert. I can add a logo. I can make a broadcast graphic, but those are a lot easier than I can adjust the graphic. Let me rephrase that. Change the text and stuff. But those guys and gals that are really good at making those liveries look good. I mean, speaking of, I'm getting hungry. I see Oreos with Leo's car, and I think we got some gluten-free ones, so I might have one of those, but we'll see. He's out there sitting in that fourth position. He's got Antonio there in front of him. Maybe get a little slipstream there.
Hard time getting much out of this car, I tell you that.
Yeah, it's a fun little combo, and it's one of those things where I struggled with it and just getting better. And see, you got some time, Shaun, to get back out there and move up, and because not only this is a sets up for the Hot Lap Challenge. I mean, that's the most important thing of this tonight is to win this Hot Lap Challenge, but this also sets the grid for the fun race. So you always want to be towards the front there. You see Leo just warming up those tires and building some heat in there, and because if you got cold tires, you ain't gonna get fast laps. So the last lap for Andres and Nick are both in that 141 bracket. Oldest just moved up a little bit, 142.31, so it's getting a little faster. Leo trying to make some moves. We see there's with Shaun trying to find some. He said he's trying to find some pace, and he's gonna let him by, and maybe get a little more heat in those tires, Shaun. I think you're gonna be able to move up the board. I see Robby just move up to 7th place on the grid. So,
it's Robby. You knocked me back.
Tried.
So yeah.
User disconnected from your channel.
Sitting pretty good. So doing a good job here. I think we are at the half. Yeah, we're at the halfway point, just past it. I want to make a big thanks to Ricmotech for sponsoring this. I know, he sponsors a lot of series, and it's good to see him supporting the Hot Lap Challenge. Just anything in the sim racing world, check him out, ricmotech.com. can't thank Frank,
Sorry about that. I couldn't
Frank
get
and the
that
crew enough for supporting us and put this event on. I know Shaun, you're a big fan of his stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm running a Mini Mite wheel right now.
Mini Mite, great product. I know Bryan Heitkotter helped with the tuning on that.
I'm running his tunes.
You're running his tune, yeah. GT3, GT4 experience with him. So Kevin runs his tune too. I mean, when you buy something from Frank, you don't just get a great product; you get great support. So if you have something that isn't quite right, I mean, you reach out to them and they're back to you very quickly, and that means a lot. I mean, I know for me when I've had a couple issues, and it wasn't necessarily with the Ricmotech product, but it was something that I could order from Frank, and it was very easy. And I have some of his products on my rig, and wouldn't be surprised if there aren't some more coming within, But so yeah, the Mini Mite's a great product, so I want to thank them for supporting us. So yeah, we're 17 minutes into this hot lap challenge so far. It's got Andres up top, Nick, and then Aldous in third, and then Leo fourth. Last lap for him, 142.41. Oh, Leo just moved up to third with that 142.27. So Leo up to bronze. Only just 3/10 off. I think he can have the pace to move up to gold. So Andres is showing the way right now, doing a good job at running a good time. So one thing I like to point out, Leo, fastest sector 3 of the session, of this qualifying session. His sector 4 was a little bit slower, but okay. New fast lap. Andres just goes to 141.899 with the fastest sector 5 of the day. So really good time. Aldous on that out lap. So we'll see what he'll be able to do. So yeah, Leo just got the fastest sector 3 on that last lap. So yeah, Aldous got that 142.31 as his fastest lap. So he needs to. Yeah, he's gonna get around Lonnie Jameson there. So yeah, he has to. Yeah, he's pulling off. Just maybe didn't have the speed he needed to get back in. If you don't have it on this lap, Shaun, you might as well go back in the pits and go back out. So
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, Andres is.
So what do you
first.
do,
Yep.
Shaun, when you turn on that sim commander thing and it's not exactly centered? It goes off just a touch.
I'm trying to remember where that is. I haven't had any. There is a center button, I think, somewhere.
There is, I know.
I'll take a look for you. I'll help you.
That's all right. I ain't fast enough to matter. It's okay. Fuck it all.
What, you and me are gonna have a good race? What do you mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's just a skosh off. Just enough to make you feel like you bumped your wheel.
Let's see. It might not let me look at those. It's not gonna let me run it because I'm already running a profile, so I can't look at it.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Actually, wait. I can cancel. Hold on. Let's see here.
Yeah, and I'm not even. If I was on my sim PC, I'd be able to, but I don't have sim commander on this one. So it's like when you're running with the meatball and you got a little angled wheel on it, but that's when you have damage. But when it's tough when you're not damaged. Speaking of another fast time, Leo just got that 140 at 142.09. So just 0.2 off the fastest driver of Andres there in the sitting in the top of the board. It's Kenneth Jensen. Good to see Kenneth out here sitting in 12th on the board.
Sucks.
Get a good lap in. Fastest sector 5 for Andres. Their last lap was at 141.9. So he's just under a 10th clear over Nick there, but Nick's sitting on a good lap. Michael Cochran out here rolling around. There's Leo in front of him, and Leo's fast. I mean, holy cow! I mean,
He's fast every time.
He's fast every time. Just he's a young man.
Don't worry about it, Shaun.
With a good head on his shoulders, and
It ain't gonna matter, dude.
Warm up those tires.
Okay.
But
Prototype launch already running.
all this coming into the pit's gonna get that fresh tires and get on and moving and a grooving. Whoever's gonna get that car to rotate and motivate the most will be the fastest on the board. And
Number two.
that's
ding.
number 2. Ding, 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 ding. You know, I've always had I got a couple lines in the pocket, but I need to wait for certain events to happen. And one of them's where an engine blows, so I don't want to see that tonight. But I actually haven't had to use this line in a while, so
it's hard to blow these. I don't know if you
Yeah.
even can.
right. So we
Without
got that.
wreck.
We got I got that right because that's what I did. I wrecked it earlier today, and it didn't just blow the motor. We messed up the car. So and that's when I was doing an AI race. I was doing an AI at Lambeau at Sebring, and I junked it hard. I went wide at Sunset Bend, and I just crushed it. I mean, I don't think anybody's crushed a car that hard. So, but everybody's keeping it good on the track. Remember, if you're in this qualifying session for the Hotlap Challenge, you have to, if you get an off track, that eliminates your time. So you have to, you always want to push the limit of the track on, corner entry and exit you want to use up as much as you can. So, but yeah, fastest so far still Andres, and he has the fastest sector 2 on this lap. So, a tenth faster than Nick's sector, but Nick was really quick in sector 3 and 4, his last lap. So we'll see what he's going to get comes out of the final corner. Arnie the flagman waiting for the checker to roll. Last lap for Nick there, 142.26. So just a little bit slower, but I think he could be really putting on a good. He's going to pull off and go back in the pits and try over again. So 23 minutes down of 30 for this Hot Lap Challenge. The big goal tonight, Shaun, is to win the Hot Lap Challenge. But remember, it's not over. After that, we got a 15-minute fun lap race for some good bragging rights. So stick around. As you see, Leo and Nick are getting back on track. Kurt, oh my gosh. Andres has put down an even faster lap, 141.88. So,
ouch.
That's ouch is right. So still a 10th clear over Nick there, and 2/10 clear over Leo. So,
Well, that lap, I just ruined that whole lap at the carousel. Dang it, Cole. Dang it.
yeah. Tell you what, man. I always ruin it. The best part of the track I'm at, Shaun, is I'm really good on the straightaways. That's the best part I am. Hold that thing wide open and keep it going. That's why I really like Daytona road course, because you got a lot of wide open moments.
It's like a Daytona road course. Sometimes I feel like I'm on a drag strip with just 180s. Drag strip 180, drag strip 180, drag strip 180. Okay, go through the banking.
Yeah, we were there at the Rolex this year. We had a couple of guys. It was their first time, and they're like, okay, that banking's really steep, but the way those prototypes fly by the GT3 cars, they were in awe. So, but yeah, I really like straightaways. I'm Monza straightaways, love it. Spa straightaways, love it. So I mean, you throw those curves in, but so it's weird is I'm not really a drag racing fan. I've been to a couple, but for being completely straight, you think it'd be my type of racing, but but a lot of drivers are on their outlaps though, Shaun. So we're looking at Andres 141.844. So just a little over a 10th and a half clear over Nick there. So sitting in a really good spot with just under 5 minutes to go. I think you really have a chance to, if you're out on the track now, I think you have an opportunity, Shaun, to go and get one lap in, come in the pits, maybe get another lap, so it's getting close to that crunch time. If you don't think this is a lap, I think people are going to pull off and go back in the pits and try it again, because
Yeah, 140 something a lap. You don't.
Yeah.
You gotta keep that in mind. You need that out lap before a time lap.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of coming out on an out lap, the fastest driver so far, Andres is going to come out and get probably one more opportunity for him. So, once again, thanks everybody for tuning in to tonight's Hot Lap Challenge. I am Avery McDonald, and it's an honor to join Robby and Shaun here in the Sim Pit, providing you this great coverage of the Ricmotech Hot Lap Challenge. So, remember, if you haven't subscribed or hit that like button, or let us know you're here in the chat so we can good to be involved, whether you're involved watching on the YouTube or if you're in the Discord. Such a community-based channel, and that's what makes I think the whole community just very, very well done. It's just speaking of well done, 141.677. You know whose lap that is? That's Nick's lap. That's Twiggy.
Wow.
He just knocked off Andres's time, and wow, what a good lap. And his lap didn't necessarily have a purple sector, but he ran his personal best sector 3, sector 4, and 5. So, you know, like I was saying earlier, Shaun, it's not always about having the fastest sector of the session. It's having the fastest overall.
Right, and getting that consistency like he obviously did there.
Yeah, what a good lap. I mean, that's 2/10. That's 2/10 clear. And looking at times here, Leo's on a personal best sector 1 and 2. So he's sitting in a good spot. There's Ken Estep. Good to see Ken out here on the track, moving that Lambo around. 143.84. Really good lap for him. I mean, that's when you got drivers like Nick and Andres at the top of the board. If I'm within two, Shaun, you okay?
Not really.
Oh no, you can't park there. This isn't the mall parking lot. So let's get back into the pits, and you might be able to get a lap, and we'll see. Because
I think I'm probably missing
you think
it.
you're
It's okay.
done? Yeah,
Yep,
it's okay.
right.
That's all right.
I'll check on my dog real quick before the race.
Yeah,
I'm not going to win this month's Hotlap Humpday.
That's okay. I mean, what's new? I'm just giving you a hard time, but
no, it's true.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit when you get back.
Right back. Yeah.
So yeah, we got Nick out front on that out lap. We'll see if he's gonna be able to get back in there. Ken run that Sim Pit car, looking good. Car's always looking good on Ken's cars. So Michael Cochran's still out there. 14 drivers have put down a time in. We look like we lost Ryan to connection failure, which always is unfortunate. Maybe he'll get back in, or maybe not. But 1 minute left in the hot lap challenge, so we'll see where they're going to end up. So yeah, 1 minute left. A good session so far. A lot of quick times. Leo's put the car in the pits. Nick, fastest lap, 141.68, just under 2/10 clear of Andres, who was the fastest in the practice session. But you don't get the award for practice. You get the award for being the fastest in the qualifying time for that hot lap challenge. So yeah, big thanks again, everybody, for tuning in and watching here on the Sim Pit. Qualifying has concluded, but you have we got 2 minutes and 26 seconds left on the timer. So if you've started a lap now, you're able to complete your lap. So the only drivers on the track right now: Michael Cochran, John Hill, Joshua Higgy, Aldis, and then Andres and Nick. So we're sitting in a good spot. We'll see if Andres is done. So Bernie's waving the checkered flag to Michael Cochran, Joshua Higgy. So it looks like, unless Aldis can knock off next time. Oh, and all this spun out of the boot. So it looks like Nick Veltnar is going to win the Hot Lap Challenge for tonight. What a time. What a time for Nick there. Congratulations on being the winner of tonight's Hot Lap Challenge presented by Ricmotech. So congratulations there, Twiggy. Thanks for jumping in and getting that fastest time to win the Hot Lap Challenge. But if you're watching, do not leave. We have a fun 15-minute race, which should be a good time, especially here at the Glen in the Lambo GT3. Oh, no, we're glad you're here, man. Whether you're the fastest or you're the slowest driver, we appreciate you for jumping in.
The race is open to all drivers. Race is open to all drivers. We're going to start that up in about 30 seconds. All right. Well, I didn't win Hotlap Humpday, but I did get my dog fed, so that's
and you know what, though, Shaun? For this 15-minute fun race, there's always a chance.
That is true. I can still have some bragging rights. Look at Nick. Nick winning the event,
Yeah.
41.67. Andres was the dominant driver all day long, and literally with minutes left on the clock, Nick slips in with that 41.6 and takes the event. Great job, Nick. I better put a little more fuel in. I think I'm probably 2 minutes short on fuel.
Oh, God.
I'm going to crank it up to... they ain't going to make a difference. I'm going to go to 8.7.
What do you think? 13, 15?
I'm only going to go with, like... Actually, okay, I'll go 9.5 gallons. Not going to be enough?
I don't
All right,
think
we'll
so.
go to 10. Yeah, all right. Screw it. It ain't gonna make a difference. I'm going to 12 gallons. So you can't win if you run out of gas. And if you're the slowest guy, a little extra fuel probably ain't gonna make a difference either. All right, that'll do. That's safe.
Fuck
All right,
it.
1 minute. 1 minute till green flag. Yeah, Mike, I didn't get anywhere with my setup. Every change I made actually made it a little bit worse. So I ended up running like basically the medium downforce with fuel adjustment. That's it. Oh, Nick, that's very generous of you. Oh, I'm glad, and I hope you join us next week or next month, I should say. It's really about the fun for a lot of us. It's a different type of event. Okay, grid up, everyone. Grid up, everyone. All drivers are eligible. All drivers hit the grid. All right, there's Joa. That means Robby's right next to me.
Yeah, it's your left.
John Hill's right behind me. And Joshua. He's fast. Joshua's in front of me.
Huh.
All right, we got a full lap. Here we go. Ooh, it's race time.
You know, we should invert these races, Shaun.
For the fun race?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense, actually.
We should actually invert the whole field. That way, at least everyone is going to get to run with each other.
Yeah.
Because I'll never see these guys in front of me.
Yeah, and the winner's already won, so it's not like it's going to
That's what I mean.
the
This
day.
is for a fun race, so we should have inverted it now that I think about it.
All right, we'll make that note for next month. By the end of the year, we will have the 2024 schedule planned well.
Yeah.
So, but we're just trying to get it so it's the most fun the event can possibly be. I like the shorter event because I know a lot of guys have league races that start like coming up in about an hour. So it means they can actually join us to the end instead of having to cut out at the end, which we are seeing. Yeah, I like the format. I think we're getting there. And the name is Hotlap. So it's really about a fast lap, not winner of the race. And
Yeah.
you want to win a race, there's, racing going on all day, every day on iRacing and leagues and whatnot. And I think this is one of the rare opportunities to do something a little different.
I agree. Now, didn't we used to have the whole practice I mean, wasn't it hot lap was from the time we went on till the time it ended, though?
Yeah, and we're I think that was just something that Kevin missed in trying to make sure he got everything set up right.
Okay, so we'll just do hot lap will be every lap.
Yeah, next month's will be an hour and a half of qualifying with no practice. Or just enough practice to get everybody in the room. But the other thing is, ever since they changed the UI, it made it so we can go right to qualifying because everybody's in the UI that can still get in and qualifying. So last year when we were doing this, as soon as it switched to qualifying, anybody who didn't use the new UI wouldn't be able to find our room. So if you use the old UI, you're kind of out of it. So yeah, now we can go right to qualifying full time. All right, this should be a fun little race.
Oh yeah, it should be a good one.
15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes. It's a quick race.
Draft.
It's a quick race. You want to try to get as many positions as you can, but you got to keep the car clean. So we'll see. Nick and Andres were the fastest in the practice and qualifying, but Leo was only 2/10 behind Andres in thirds, and he was in second. So I mean, anything can happen. So
which car is Leo in? 7 or?
He's in the Oreo. Blue and white, number 3.
Number 3.
White 3 on the right. Okay, there.
Yeah.
So the pace car is going to make that hard right-hand turn, and they have to go on the green iRacing green flag. So they're waiting and waiting and waiting. And here we go. We're racing for the 15-minute fun race.
Jump. I hope I don't wreck everybody.
Oh, Robby's got a good smile on his face. Get a couple positions there. A good legal jump. It was just a good start by him. So up into already up to 6th place there. Robbie's doing pretty good, up 2 spots. And
oh, she light.
Ooh, Leo was side by side there with Aldous a little bit, but
just tell me if you get it. He's making a move on you, Shaun. So careful.
He's just looking.
Right in front of them is a big battle there with Leo and Andres there, and Nick so far showing the way, but really good clean start all the way throughout the field. I mean, we're sitting at a still 5 seconds from the 1st to 14th on the grid, so good start for this 15-minute race. See all the times they're populating in my live timing app, and they're all fast. They're all really close. I mean, so Higgy there sitting in that 5th spot. He's got our good buddies Robby and Shaun behind him, and then Joa just in that 9th. It's just a train of cars. They're all hoping somebody else makes a mistake. First lap complete. Well, they're going to lead the first race with Andres, and I'll tell you what, though, the top 5 has not everybody's at where they started. So, I mean, the only people that have moved so far, all this up to 3rd, big move for him.
Oh, bummer.
And around goes Leo.
Oh, Leo.
Leo goes around. Aldous goes around. Right as I made the comment about everybody hasn't lost too many positions, the commentator's curse happens. But so far, our biggest mover is Michael Cochran. Thanks for commenting on the video. Yeah, up into 6, up 7 spots. So good job for him. But Veltner still showing the way. And Workman, we're looking, and he is like that livery. Got a good car. Up 1 spot from he started at 9th. Kenny stepped behind him up 3. So yeah, we got Leo, Aldous, and Kenneth Jensen are currently in the pits. So they'll use that one faster pair and get back out on the track and try to knock off some good lap time. So 3 minutes into the 15-minute fun race. So Nick won the hot lap challenge, the most important part of tonight's race, but he wants to win that fun race and put on some really good lap times in here. But Kurt Workman and Joa just put on a really good battle. They're sitting behind Cochran and or not. They're sitting behind Joa's up there, and Shaun, he moved all the way up to fourth, sitting pretty good. And Robby fourth and fifth, battling hard. Robby sitting up in fourth. That's a good session for him. We'll see if Robby can hang on to that. Now he's got a lot of pace. I think he's a little bit quicker than Joshua there. And
no, I don't think I am.
He might be. We'll see. Joshua had that last lap of just a tenth quicker, but you're still sitting good. And this battle here for the trying to do my counting, sixth position. Yep, it's Joa, Cochran, and Kurt Workman there battling for sixth, and just ahead of them is that battle between Robby and Shaun. But Michael trying to find a way to get around Joa there, and Kurt, he's just sitting in that spot going, please make a mistake, guys. I want to get around you. So, and then you got Ken Eastep not too far back, and then John Hill sitting in that 10th position. So, field still pretty close together, 10 seconds from first to 10th. And 5 minutes, so a third of the way through. So remember that the white flag will come out when the time gets close to the end, where the flag marshal says, hey, you're not going to be able to complete another lap, so we're throwing the white. So 5 minutes in of 15, so Veltner still showing the way, but the battle right now is for that sixth position between Joa, Michael, Kurt Workman, and Ken Eastep. So
tell me if you get a run on me, Shaun.
I'm just hanging with you. That's it.
Yeah, lap times for the top three are all within a half a tenth of each other, so they're sitting in a good spot. Oh, Kurt Workman goes around in 93. Doesn't collect anybody, but we're back up to there's Ken Eastep there, just sitting in got a couple spots. I think that's a big thing. We were talking earlier during practice and during the hot lap challenge about downforce, and you want to have.
I can't get it. I left too damn early in this spread.
The biggest mover so far is Michael Cochran, up into the 7th position. He is just over a second clear, just over a half a second clear of Ken Eastep, who are, I think, in that Simpet Lambo, might be able to get back up. Halfway through, almost getting close.
These guys might make a mistake here, Shaun.
They're getting close.
Yeah, they're racing real hard, about a half a tenth or a tenth between them. So, Josh was trying to put on the pressure. I think the big thing when you come, especially sim racing in general, you always keep that pressure on the driver in front of you. And that's Shaun's job right now, to try to keep the pressure on Robby to catch up to and hope the guys in front of him make a mistake. So
I'm kind of hoping we could get teamed up here, and I'm trying to draft into them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last lap for you was quicker than Joshua there. So, I mean, gaining a little bit of time, 7 minutes down. Nick still showing the way. Eastep put on a really good run up, 4 spots from his starting possession. Cochran's still your biggest mover. Up right in front of him is in 6th position or 7th position, up 6 spots. So making some good moves. Yeah, halfway point. just past 20 seconds ago. So 5 laps will probably get, I'd say, 10 or 11, depending on where we get to. But
Whoa! I fucked that one up.
Not too bad. I actually got a decent run and barely changed our position, so you got off the corner well.
Yeah, getting off the corner is super important when it comes to a track like the Glen with all these long straights. So the gap's grown a little bit from second and third.
I'm losing my
about
back.
a second.
Yeah. I got no rear tires. Like, ah!
Yeah, I just seen your little wheel wobbling trying to get the car. That's one of those back tires are hurting. It doesn't help. But so Shaun's up to fourth, but you know what though? Now Robby, you're in the pressure situation to put it on
I
Shaun.
got
Maybe
wheel damage.
What
you
happened
got
to
wheel damage?
Oldest?
I slipped into the guardrail. I
All
got
this
too
was-
close to you. I was trying to push you up the hill. It didn't.
all this is collected up with Leo there on the coming out of turn 1. But he's back out on the track. It looks like, yeah. Almost 10 minutes down to this 15-minute fun race here on the sim pit. Oh, and he's stepped looking at trying to make a move around Cochran. It's always tough to pass here because if you put yourself in a predicament where you're going to make a pass, well, the next corner you're on the wrong side of the track. So, Aldous and Kenneth have parked there for the night. Hopefully they'll come back in a month's time to unknown track, unknown car, and find out 5 Eastern 1 month from today. Cochran gets that off track. Fastest driver that last lap was Joe out there with that 142.937. Fastest lap
Bucket.
for him so far. E-step trying to make a move on Cochran. Michael says, I'm going to be okay. There's the second place. Andrus is sitting second and trying to hold off Higgy, but E-step has a little bit more pace than Michael Cochran, though. But Michael's just running a picture-perfect race. I think I was kind of surprised to see him jump in when he's running the Bathurst 12-hour on Saturday, and usually when he's got a big race on his mind, he doesn't do anything else besides that. So it's good to see him out here for the Ricmotech Hotlap Challenge. Shaun, you're up to 4th, sitting in a good spot. I mean, only got 2 seconds back to Joa, and
Yeah, he's reeling me in though.
he is. So I mean, luckily for you, you got time on your side. We're 12 minutes into this, so just a few more laps. But
I can't believe the tires on this GT3 go away so quick.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Josh, we're trying to
Made it 10 minutes.
closing them in.
That's all I could do. At my age, that's 5 minutes more than I thought I could do.
So yeah, Andrus is starting to catch up to him, and you never know, they might get into a battle where they could really start racing hard side by side. Shaun, he might be able to get up to bronze. So I
hope so.
I mean, Joshua is right on the, his nose is right on the rear of the car, backed off a little bit though. So going through that carousel, almost 13 minutes down. So we may or may not see the white flag this time. Not this time. Maybe next time. We'll see.
I tell you, Andres and Joshua are having a very good, clean, proper race.
Oh yeah. Not defending, not pulling a bunch of blocks, just kind of goes to their line, and then they,
Yeah, well, they're both extremely respectful. I mean, they're both great guys, but it's good to watch that.
Oh yeah, good clean racing, and that's
They each got a strength and a weakness, and
mhm.
they're each trying to capitalize on it.
Right.
It's good watch. It's good watch.
Yeah, I think looking at my timing and scoring, I think Josh was a little bit better in the beginning of the track, but Andres just has a little bit better in the final couple sectors. So we're gonna have to
White
just
flag.
wait and see. Yeah, white flag's in the air. So Nick Veltner just out to a 2.8 second gap. Yeah, white flag's in the air. So we'll see. I mean, should get it, but the gap between second and third has grown to about just over half a second. So Heege it went a little about 10 slower in sector 1. So, but
All right, brakes on. No, I'm kidding.
are they working? My dial is my red bar. Is that? Yeah, it's working. E-Step trying to find his way around Cochran. Veltner ran a good, clean race. Started in the front, won the Hot Lap Challenge, which is the most important part of tonight. But he's gonna win the fun race. But this battle between Cochran and Ken E-Step sitting in 6th and 7th, and then with John Hill right behind him, just putting on a battle. Yep, there it is. Oh, and around goes E-Step and collects John Hill, but what a race. Nick's gonna take home the win. Andres holds off a hard charge on Joshua Heege. And then John, 4th place. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it worked out all right in the end. Great job, Nick. Great race, and really fun running you guys.
Yeah, everyone did great.
Yeah, what a good race.
It was really fun watching the race between Andres and Joshua. You guys are really going at it, and as even and evenly matched and respectful as I've ever seen. Great job. And Joa, I thought for sure you were going to reel me in. You were flying. You were the fastest car on the track.
He was.
Good job, Joa.
He almost had you. Two
I
more
had
laps
nothing
and you
left.
would
If
have
he
been in
had
trouble.
Yeah, if he had gotten there, I had nothing to defend again with him. It's like, all I could do. The only thing I really could have done was go really slow and low and hold him up.
I think he would have just gone around you.
Yeah, he seemed to have that much grip left.
Yeah.
Wow, GT3 is running out of tires in 10 minutes. That's insane.
And not a little out, like gone.
Yeah,
like, big change.
So it's mostly. I'm looking at my tires, and it shouldn't be giving me that much. I mean, we did burn off like 8% of the tire in that amount of time.
How much fuel do you use?
Fuel. I can't tell. I already turned it off. I was using 0.8 per lap. I know that. Yeah, the tires were not hot, so tire temps were 180, 190 all the way around. So my left front was 93, right front 95%, 94s in the rears. So, I mean, really not. I guess that is a lot of wear for only 15 minutes now that I think about it, though. if you were to multiply that out in 1 hour, you know, and then it would get worse and worse over time. So,
Right.
you know, 1 hour mark, I'd be down to like 75% tire. That would be a bad setup if we were in an endurance race. That'd be a lot of laps
Right.
Yeah.
on a bad setup.
Right.
So,
Right. I agree.
all right. So our final standings, Nick Veltenar winning the event, both the Hotlap event and the Bragging Rights Fun Race. Andrew Slissen's finishing in second. Joshua Heege finishing off our podium. From there back, it's Cole, Antonio, Cochran, Hill, Jameson, Estep, Unser, Workman, Pudiquist, Dragata, Jensen, Reisman. So, big shout out and thank you to Robby. Robby, it's fun racing with you. We were hooked up there for a while. I thought we were gaining on them, and then your tires went away, and then mine went away.
Yeah,
right
followed.
Like a lap later, I did it.
But mine like you know, they're having a nice margarita in Mexico. Whatever. Okay.
And Avery, I want to thank you so much for being here and filling in for Kevin Ford since he couldn't be here today. Had some personal things to deal with. Great to have you stepping in and keeping us all entertained. And it was really great listening to your commentary. You did a great job. Thank you.
Very good.
Oh, yeah, anytime. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I kind of knew what to expect, what was going on, because, you know, I always had Kevin in my ear last week. All right, this is what's going on. All blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I got it. So it's pretty much just talk. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Glad you had fun too. Yeah, and congratulations to Nick one more time. Shout out to Joshua. Joshua as well, finishing third in his first event with us. Andres looking really good as usual, finishing P2. And Joa, yeah, you had me crapping my pants. I don't mind saying that. I thought if it had been 2 more laps, you would have got me. Even 1 more lap, I think you would have gotten me 2 for sure. But another fun event. So if you didn't make it for this one, you were watching the video or you're watching it after the fact, put it in your calendar now. The 3rd Wednesday of March is going to be our next edition of Hotlap Humpday. I don't know the car. I don't know the track. No one does except Kevin Ford, the master. He'll let us know as we get ready to compete. So the next month, 3rd Wednesday, 3 o'clock Pacific time, 6 o'clock Eastern time will be our next edition of Hotlap Humpday. We will have a few little changes. So the entire qualifying session will be about an hour and 30 minutes from when we go live, when we give out the password, and then we will do a fun race just like we did today, because that really worked out cool. I like the way the event worked out. So one more tweak, and I think
little
we'll have
tweaks,
it just right.
Right, I agree. Oh, and invert the race.
Yeah, and then invert, yeah.
I think would be more fun. I mean,
yeah. Frank, are you here?
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment.
Big shout out.
Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered.
Say hi to Frank and check out their cool gear.
Hundreds of name brand parts.
If you're ever looking for
Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros.
All right, so that is going to do it.
There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
Will be the next Hotlap Hump Day. I hope you'll join us and have a great time and a great month until then. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you to everyone who watched. Thank you everyone who raced. Thank you everybody in the booth here with me tonight. Get out there, do some sim racing. This is the Sim Pit. I'm Shaun Cole, and we will see you on the track.